and Sons Podcast.
In the summer of the fall, EA released a game based on the Star Wars franchise. But this game would bring an entire community to its knees. The people, the community of Reddit, brought the war to EA over the microtransactions that President Trump brought to the table. He said, "Hey, I want this in the game." EA said, "You got it, sir. This is the story. This is the fallout of one game that is so controversial. The Pope is on his way to the US right now. Star Wars Battlefront 2. The Fallout. Lanier and Sons Podcast.
Lanier and Sons Podcast.
Oh, God. That was good.
Oh, my God, guys.
So, Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Two, not the original two.
In the words of the great Mr. T, you should have never came back. That's all I gotta say, man.
Star Wars Battlefront 1. Reskinned.
Oh, so, for those y'all, to catch y'all up on everything that y'all, you may not know what's going on exactly with the game. Basically, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is the most monetized $60 game that's ever existed. And it goes all the way back to the beta. Basically, when the open beta hit, everybody noticed that everything was tied to this loot box progression system. Everybody was like, wow, that's ridiculous. Whatever, it's the beta. We won't fuss that much. Obviously, they're going to make some kind of change because this is a mess. So, Origin Access, EA Access hits. Or if you pre-order, you could get the game early. Origin Access hits, and the microtransactions are still there. But you start finding out that heroes of the game, a lot of the heroes of the game are locked behind the boxes as well. Darth Vader costs 60,000 credits, but on average, a 12 minute match would only give you somewhere around 300 to 400 credits. Wow. People were putting the numbers together. We're talking 40 hours of gameplay just to unlock one Darth Vader character.
That's crazy, dude.
For you to purchase. So then, it doesn't stop there. People are going off. People are losing it about Darth Vader being so much, along with a lot of other characters. And EA, their community team, decides to go to Reddit and basically say the most ridiculous thing you could possibly imagine them saying. And here I'm going to try and find that comment, because it was just crazy.
I think that while you find that, this whole situation is crazy. And you know what? It's actually been happening. It's just a bigger scale, it seems like. It's been happening, and we've needed a change. We really have. People have such a lack of self-control that they're gonna buy a game, and then you end up spending like $200 on freaking Call of Duty or something just to get like all the expansions and stuff. It's been getting ridiculous. They need to fix this. You shouldn't have to pay $200 for a game.
That's a fact.
I don't care if they're still working on it. I don't care if if you're gonna do that, just release the whole freaking game.
Right.
If you have updates, cool. Or make,
Oh man.
or make a donation.
My my whole thing is, I don't know when the transition happened. Maybe it was within the last 2 console generations, but when did it become okay to start selling incomplete games, and in turn, in order to complete that experience, charge double the original base value for the game when it's already an astronomical price these days, paying almost $100 for a base game?
Dude, I honestly think that people started to notice it. I mean, you guys can call me out on this if this is not true. I think that people started to notice it in Call of Duty Black Ops 2, I think. People are like, dude, like when you bought the season pass, the game didn't even update and it still released the new content, so it was already there. Right. And people were saying, why am I able to play these maps? But I'm not updating. Like, why are the new? It's like you unlocked them by paying another. What is it? $40, $30 or something?
Yeah,
that's something that Activision and Call of Duty are doing for years, splitting.
Well,
their
that's what I'm saying.
player
But it seems like people started to bring it to everybody's attention in like around Call of Duty Black Ops 2. When they released its first update and there was no update. There was like it just unlocked it. It was already there. Like they didn't even have to do any more work. It was just there. Right. And they already replaced the game. But did you find the EA thing?
I did. Here is the most downvoted comment in Reddit history. Here it is.
Wow.
From the EA community team. Their statement was, and check this out, this was about the characters being locked, or basically just being too expensive.
Right.
The intent is to provide players with a sense of pride and accomplishment for unlocking different heroes. As for costs, we selected initial values based upon data from the open beta and other adjustments made to milestone rewards before launch. Among other things, we're looking at an average per player credit earn rates on a daily basis, and we'll be making constant adjustments to ensure that players have challenges that are compelling, rewarding, and of course attainable via gameplay. We appreciate the candid feedback and the passion the community has put forth around the current topics here on Reddit. Our forums are in across numerous social media outlets. Our team will continue to make changes and monitor community feedback and update everyone as soon and as often as we can. This comment, this statement, this post, I think last time I saw it, it was around 750,000 downloads.
That's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
750,000 people made time to go to this page just to read it and download it.
You know what's crazy about that? Like on Facebook and stuff like that, you can't really voice your opinion. If you go to the EA Sports page and you try to make a comment on there saying, "Hey, I don't think this is right," all they have to do is just deny it or not, not post it. On Reddit, you can say whatever you want.
That's true.
Yeah.
Reddit is basically the digital newspaper.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
But so that happened, right? And it was just a firestorm after that. And people were going off on EA and it was making all this news. So at this point, with the Reddit comment, this was by far the biggest blow up in gaming history as far as I'm concerned. Bigger than the Xbox One launch, bigger than, oh man, I can't think of anything worse.
Whatchamacallit? That game with Sean, what's his name? Murray?
Oh, yeah, this was bigger than No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
The blow up with that.
And that was pretty big.
That was pretty damn big, dude.
Like, yeah.
This was nastier. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that one was career ending.
That showed up on Unsolved Mysteries.
Yeah, No Man's Sky was pretty rough, and maybe Infinite Warfare. There was a bunch of mess about that too, you know.
I mean, that was typical Call of Duty, though.
Yeah.
They got worse though. They got worse over time.
Battlefield Hardline.
Oh God, I'm angry about that game. I'm still angry about that game.
But this Battlefront 2, at this point, this trumps all of them. I will never forget about this launch. This is epic. This is something historic, and we haven't even got to the historic part yet.
You're gonna be able to find this in libraries in like 10 years.
Yeah, there you will.
Right.
So after that, after the Reddit comment, they decide they were going to backtrack and reduce those characters from 60,000 credits to 15,000 credits. Okay?
So it only takes 20 hours to unlock them.
Basically. 20 hours, 15, 40, 10. So 10 hours. You've gone from 40 hours of work to 10 hours of work, given the math. Nobody gave EA a pat on the back. The game was just a mess. So more people started, playing it and whatever on, Origin Access and EA Access, and got early of the game. And 2 reviews that I would like to point out real quick to you guys. I saw one review on YouTube, and I can't call the YouTuber's name, but the title of his review, it caught my eye. The title of it was "I Paid to Win in Star Wars Battlefront 2." I open it up, and I said, okay. 2 to 3 minutes into this video, he had told you everything you needed to know. He said, I think I've put $100 of real money into loot crates. These are the star cards that I got from those loot crates, and these are the cards that I applied to my ship. He had I can't recall all the cards he had. He had a card that made his blasters stronger, like from his ship. He had a maneuverability star card that made his ship go like maneuver quicker, like he could turn faster and everything. I believe he had another one that made his jet, or made his aircraft just faster, period. And then he had another one that gave him an advantage. In the gameplay, dude, when I say he was destroying people, he was demolishing people.
I think that was the one where he had it upgraded your aim assist, which is that's completely mind-boggling right there, dude.
That was a whole nother. That's a whole nother video. That one too, but this was actually a space battle. This was a space battle video I saw. So, and maybe that aim assist it could be used out there too. But man, I've never seen nothing like this in a $60 title. I've never seen such pay to win mechanic. It's a mobile game. It's a mobile game.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoever pays the most.
I saw the one. I saw a comment on the Reddit thing that said you might as well play Clash of Clans.
Oh man, you ain't lying, dude. Oh man, God, that's spot on. Jeez. And I used to play Clash of Clans very heavily. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed at how much I racked up on my AT&T bill one time playing that game.
Yeah. Oh, I bought a few for Clash of Clans. It was a fun game, but it was. I mean,
but it was free to play.
It was where it was, like
right.
It was in its spot. Like
right.
You're getting ripped off. Well, I mean, if you're into the game and you're going to be playing it like ridiculous amounts of time, then it was worth it. I don't regret spending the money on it. I spent a good $30 on that damn game.
Yeah, I was there. I spent about the same.
Yeah, man, I bought crates and stuff, or loot chests or whatever it was.
Yeah, something like that.
It helped you advance. It didn't necessarily give you an advantage. You still played in the
Right.
and the level of in people that were the same like power of you. You know, like they have the same upgrades and stuff as you. You know.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So there wasn't really necessarily an advantage.
It was kind of like a progression booster, more or less.
But in this game, you get these upgrades. You pay some money. You come to your parents. You say, "Mommy, I'm losing in Battlefront 2. Can you give me $100 so I can win?" And then you got a bunch of 12-year-olds beating you in Battlefront 2.
Right.
It's that easy.
What is it? What is this?
Yeah, it's that easy. It's that easy. You pay $60 to pay more money.
Yeah.
You pay $60 to pay more money towards this title. So let me go through the timeline a little bit more because I've been following it. So after they cut the prices back, nobody gave them a pat on the back. People are still just irate. Okay. And it came out that, and they didn't mention this, they didn't make no press statement about this.
Mm-hmm.
When you finished the campaign on Star Wars Battlefront 2, they gave you 20,000 credit.
What?
They took it away.
Wow.
They took the 20,000 credits away when they cut back on the characters.
That's funny.
Wow.
Oh my God. So then, after that, there was another situation where so then after that situation, after people got irate after that, people found out that if you played the arcade mode, like the offline arcade mode, they only gave you so many credits on the arcade mode, because if you go to the arcade and you get credits from that, you're not going to spend no money on these loot boxes or whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. So they went and capped it. Or it had already came capped. They had capped the currency that you could get from arcade. You know, on a game that you bought.
Great.
For you to buy stuff in your game. And people lost it again about that.
So where are we at right now? It sounds like we're almost where we are now.
We're almost there. We're almost there. I think this happened yesterday. Yesterday or the day before. So after that took place, the country of Belgium and their gambling commission went and decided that they were going to perform their own investigation. Mind you, the American ratings board, what's the American rating board again?
Not sure. The Billboard Hot 100?
Huh?
Wait.
No. That makes all our ratings for video games.
Oh.
I got a case. Anybody got a case next to him? Like a PlayStation case or?
I know.
You say who makes the rating?
The ESRB.
Yeah, I was
the
just
ESRB.
Yeah.
The ESRB.
I was thinking like rank.
The ESRB said that loot boxes weren't gambling because you don't. They said that it wasn't gambling because you don't get money in return.
You get value. You get value though.
Right.
That's money.
Yeah.
Value is money.
Exactly. And then the PEGI system, which is in Europe, said that they agree with the ESRB, saying that it wasn't gambling. But Belgium looked at what they had to say and said that they were like, wait, we're going to investigate this because if a person can play the same, and this is what Battlefront did. They mentioned Battlefront and Overwatch by name. Overwatch is cosmetic, but they mentioned Battlefront. They said that Battlefront, if a person can pay money and be active and play the game better than you can, that's gambling.
Yeah.
That's gambling. If you pay for something and you won't one certain item and you have to continue paying and paying and paying and paying to get that item, it's gambling.
Yeah.
It's gambling.
It is.
That's true.
Loot boxes.
That is true.
Loot boxes are gambling.
It's gambling for kids.
Yeah. They're gonna end up in the casino. They're gonna move to Mississippi, where all the casinos are, and they're gonna gamble. They're destroying our youth.
That's true though.
They're gonna have a whole generation full of freaking addicts. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Guys, the kids below us, that's all they know.
Dude, think about this. What about WoW? If you think about WoW, you can sell gold. There's ways to sell gold, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about that.
There's whole businesses.
Yeah.
There's whole businesses made for it.
I don't know, dude. It's getting sketch around here, okay?
Mm-hmm. It really is. So all of that, Belgium, they put their foot down. They said they're going to investigate. It may not come up with anything, but it may very well ban Battlefront from the whole country, which may put pressure on other countries to follow suit.
That's true.
It could. You don't want to be that one country that says, "Oh, they're protecting their kids, but we're not going to protect ours."
Right.
So,
true that. And then it costs the parents. So the parents are freaking gambling. They don't even know it.
Yep, that's true.
Exactly. So that's
rape. That's basically financial rape. If you ask me.
I agree.
It's financial rape, dude. If you're making somebody gamble and they don't know it, that's financial rape, dude.
I agree.
I don't care what anybody says. That's the definition of it, right? What's going on right now?
They can fight me.
Yeah, 1v1.
Exactly. So it leads into today. There's more and more stuff, more and more fighting. Of course, you got your corporate slaves that are trying to defend this. I'm convinced that if anybody has a low enough self-esteem, they'll defend anything. Defend anything.
Or they make enough money.
They defend it.
Think about it. If you give say like a high dollar YouTube gamer 50,000 credits, they'll defend the game. You don't know if that's happening or not.
That's true. It could happen. It could be happening. It could be happening. It'd be a darn shame.
Okay, think about how many people defended No Man's Sky at first. How many of those high-dollar YouTube gamers were like, "Oh man, it's such a good game," and they were falling asleep during their freaking live streams?
Yeah.
What?
But they're like, "Oh god, such a good game." I swear I watched this one for like 45 minutes. And the guy was like, "Oh, so interesting. Oh, I can get these minerals. Oh." I just went right to sleep. And I'm like, "Dude, I was about to buy the game. I was like, man, that seems pretty cool." But then like I watched a live stream and I was like, what's happening? Nothing's going on. This guy's going to different planets. He's picking up like, "Oh, I found some gold. Oh, I found some research on some plants."
It's like Minecraft on steroids.
Yeah, we got multiplayer. You just have to find them.
Oh man, that was. Let me just hop on that for a second. That was the most funniest thing I had ever heard about that game.
Yeah. When
they were trying to sell the concept of, you will never run into another player again, and it's multiplayer.
Sean Murray is still hiding for his life.
Dude, Sean Murray's hanging out with Osama bin Laden right now.
Bruh.
And Michael Jackson.
They're both on an island.
Yeah.
Freaking liar.
Yeah, dude, undiscovered, dude. Dude, he's definitely vegan. I guarantee. He's eating grass wherever he is.
Oh man.
Well, so to lead into today, there's still a bunch of fighting and backlash and all. They also had an AMA. Let me not forget this. They had an AMA on Reddit. I was yesterday. And I didn't tune into it. I didn't see it or whatever. But apparently they were very PR department on the AMA. And people tore them apart.
Oh God.
Like, don't go on and ask me anything on Reddit. Don't go on there and try and be corporate. That ain't the place.
Yeah.
That ain't the place.
Don't make me tell the truth, basically.
Right.
That ain't the place. You already seen what happens when you try and be corporate on this very free platform.
Mm-hmm.
I heard they got tore up.
Yeah.
I heard they got torn. I heard they got destroyed. Those 3 developers. Oh, and then there's death threats and all that. So that's
of course.
There was a whole bunch of death threats. They trying to kill the people's family over the video game. It's just a mess.
Jesus.
I think there's
Don't kill nobody over a video game.
Yeah,
Please.
I think there's always death
Right.
threats, and by death threat, it's like some little kid on there saying, "I'm gonna choke your mommy out. I'm gonna choke your mama.
I'm gonna kick your baby.
Oh, God.
I'll kick your mommy right in the fetus."
Oh, my God.
Oh Jesus.
So we lead into the day, and a couple hours ago, probably 3 hours ago from the time of this recording, EA comes out, makes a statement, and this is their statement. Actually, Phil, do you already have it up?
Yeah, I do actually.
You want to give it a read?
Sure. All right. The official statement from EA on the Forbes source. And let's go here. Okay, it says, and I quote, "Our goal," and this is quoting DICE GM Oscar Gabrielson. He said, "Our goal has always been to create the best possible game for all of you, devoted Star Wars fans and game players alike. We've also had an ongoing commitment to constantly listen, tune, and evolve the experience as it grows. You've seen this with both the major adjustments and polish we have made over the past several weeks. But as we approach the worldwide launch, it's clear that many of you feel that there are still challenges in their design. We've heard the concerns about potentially giving players unfair advantages, and we've heard that this is overshadowing an otherwise great game. This was never our intention. Sorry we didn't get this right. We hear you loud and clear, so we're turning off all in-game purchases. We will now spend more time listening, adjusting, balancing, and tuning. This means that the option to purchase crystals in the game is now offline, and all progression will be earned through gameplay. The ability to purchase crystals in-game will become available at a later date, only after we've made changes to the game. We'll share more details as we work through this."
I feel like I'm about to get on a ride at Disney World right now.
Oh, it's a Disney ride, all right.
It sure is, dude.
No kidding, dude.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's good. You know what, dude? That's a starting point, I think, for gaming. It really,
It's game changer.
this shit, and I say shit because this shit's getting out of hand.
It really is.
It really is, dude.
Yeah.
You can't. I know they want to increase their revenue. There's nothing wrong with wanting to increase your revenue, but do it in other ways. Make it so that your game is more like, okay, Battlefront 2. I didn't buy it. If I saw that game and like my problem was the first one. I didn't really like the first one that much, but if I would have looked at the game and I was like, man, you know what, this looks fun, I would have bought it.
Right.
But you gotta be more appealing instead of chasing away people that have common sense.
Right.
Some people have common sense. You can't just,
Exactly.
I hope that this spreads to other games like future
It really
games.
needs to. It really needs to.
Yeah. This DLC stuff and this, I mean, I can understand if you come out with like a complete new module for a game later on or something, and you're like, hey, we really feel like we need to charge for this. See here, pay $15, and we're gonna give you all this content. Not you don't hey, pay $15 and we'll give you some new skins in one map. Screw that.
And this
I'm tired of it.
This Forbes editor had a good point here. They said, what this does not necessarily mean is that microtransactions will be gone forever. It seems absolutely possible that they'll end up returning to the game once DICE has figured out how exactly to reduce the grind or lower the cost of these boxes. It's also no guarantee that larger reworks are coming, like the elimination of the loot box progression system altogether. Though, if DICE is willing to go this far, I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. They compared it. They said this feels like a Diablo 3 kills the auction house moment, or Xbox One changes all its policies type of event. A truly monumental shift, one spurned almost entirely by relentless fan pushback and anger. And they said, I guess part of me wants to give EA and DICE props for this, but above all else, it reinforces just what a total mess this launch has been. Yeah. To do something this drastic this late only indicates that the game was wildly under-tested, and the microtransaction idea was a terrible one that should have never made its way to the game in the first place.
Alright, here's what they're saying. This is the translation for that. The translation for that is, we're trying to locate Sean Murray so that we can hire him to see what he did for No Man's Sky. Because they're still selling No Man's Sky for $30 right now. And people are buying it.
Man, you ain't lying, dude.
Man, you know what? EA, dude, straighten up.
Yeah.
EA, straighten up.
Hashtag EA straighten up.
Look, I was gonna say, DeMarcus went to sleep talking about this because it's serious.
EA's dead, dude.
Oh man,
you know what? If they come out with a freaking awesome Command and Conquer without microtransactions, dude, I'll buy that, dude. For sure.
Rare needs to make a comeback. Rare Studios, they need to revive it. They need to go find whoever the developers were back in the 90s. They need to bring them back.
Yeah,
just bring them all back.
Disney is destroying, and by destroying I mean like they're doing a pretty good job, I think, with Star Wars. Let them do their job with Star Wars. Let's move on from Star Wars and let's go back to the real stuff. You know,
exactly.
we need some competitors for Heroes of the Storm and stuff like that. Let's do that. You know, because that was a good game. Command and Conquer was a good game at the time.
Yes, it was.
Let's do that or something. You know, it's freaking Star Wars. Let's watch the movies, okay? And let's leave it at that.
Right. You said so much.
That's another thing. If this was a new IP, or this was like a lesser known game,
right?
First off, this is one of the most popular franchises in the country. Star Wars is.
Yep.
That's not. EA knows me wrong, dude.
Yeah, don't mess it up. Give it to somebody else. Let Blizzard screw it up. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Give it
that
to
was
Bungie.
too far.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's a disaster.
It is.
Oh yeah.
It's a 100% disaster. Anybody who buys this game, either one, is an idiot.
Exactly.
Or
two, really love Star Wars.
Right.
And I mean really love.
Which they're out there. They are out there.
I like Star Wars, but I didn't buy that because I don't buy it. If that makes sense.
Right. No, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Whoever buys this game needs a hug.
Yeah.
They need a hug.
Yeah.
They need attention. They need a friend that come to them and say, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah, and maybe you should quit gaming so hard.
Exactly. let's go to the mall.
If you're gaming so hard that you're tired of all the other games, you buy this game. Something's wrong. Socially,
this is chaos. This is the greatest video game. I think this is the greatest media blow up since Trump got elected.
Bruh.
I'm being serious.
It's a distraction.
Trump isn't my president.
Trump could slap somebody's mom right now and nobody would know.
In the
You read it. You said it.
Well, he was talking about touching president.
Oh man.
I talk about touching vaginas. I go to jail.
Yeah. That's another podcast.
That's all I got, guys.
Yeah, me too.
What?
Yeah.
I don't think they're coming back from this one. They might as well kill this
Nah,
one.
It's a wrap.
You'll have some hipsters buy it, but that's it.
Yeah, the hipsters will. They need a hug.
They'll be like,
And they need to go out to the mall.
okay, they removed microtransactions. Let's buy it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they're gonna add them back. So
Of course.
let's move on.
Mom, I want Battlefront for Christmas. Well, I can't afford it. It's $300. Shut up!
Mom, they removed microtransactions. Let's do it.
Can you spell microtransaction, son?
Yeah.
No, shut up!
Oh man.
I want Minecraft story mode too.
That's
That's an attack on Microsoft, and that's actually another podcast too.
Fire.
Oh boy!
Oh,
All right,
Microsoft.
guys. Y'all got anything else?
Nope.
That's
Just
it, man.
wah 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 wah.
Lanier and Sons Podcast.
Lanier and Sons Podcast.
Out.
Lanier and Sons Podcast.